Good morning, folks. My name is Kurt Hitzemann, County Court Judge here in Hernando County. You folks are here for your first appearance. The purpose of the first appearance is so that you may be informed of the charges against you. I'll determine if there's probable cause for those charges. Probable cause simply means it's more likely than not that a crime has been committed, and more likely than not that you're the person who's committed that crime. Of course, if you stand before me today, I presume that you're innocent of these allegations. That presumption of innocence will stay with you through every stage of the proceedings, unless and until the state attorney's office is able to prove the allegations against you beyond and to the exclusion of a reasonable doubt. We'll set your conditions of pretrial release this morning. That is your bail or your bond. In most cases, you've got a bond set already pursuant to the bond schedule here in the 5th Judicial Circuit, or the warrant which led to your arrest. I'll determine if that bond should be raised or lowered or left the same, or whether there'll be additional conditions of pretrial release placed upon you. We'll let you know when your next court date will be. If you'd like to have the services of the public defender, I'll happily appoint the PD to represent you this morning. You do have the right to have contact with folks on the outside, family, friends, counsel. If you haven't had a chance to make that call, please let me know. We'll make sure that that happens. Finally, and most importantly, you're advised that you do have an absolute right to remain silent with regard to the facts which surround your arrest. I encourage you to do that. These proceedings are recorded. In addition, there is an assistant state attorney in the courtroom with me. If you say something that tends to incriminate you, they will use it against you in the prosecution down the road. I now need each and every one of you there at the jail to please raise your right hands and be sworn. Right hand. You all solemnly swear affirm, tell truth, whole truth, nothing but the truth. Outstanding. When you hear your name called, please step forward to the podium. Rebecca Del Rio. Morning, Miss Del Rio. What's your date of birth?
She's 1789.
All right, Rebecca, you're here on a charge of battery being domestic in nature. There's probable cause for the charge. As to that charge, you wish to represent yourself. You're going to hire private counsel. Would you like me to appoint an attorney from the public defender's office?
Yes, sir.
Very good. I'll appoint the PD. State what you tell me.
Because I'm just showing a failure to appear May 5th of this year in Hernando, but I'm not showing on what type of charge.
Okay. All right. And Rebecca, I have an address for you on Wakefield Drive in Brooksville. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
How long have you been there?
2 years.
Okay. And I understand that you and Jose no longer live together. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. And you have a job these days?
Yes, I do, sir.
What do you do?
I work at Dunkin' Donuts.
Okay. All right. Rebecca, I'm going to set your bond at $500. Condition of the bond, however, is that you have no contact with Jose. No contact means no contact of any kind. You don't call, you don't write, you don't email, you don't text message. You don't contact him through any social media. You don't have a third person contact him. Don't go where he lives. Don't go where he works. Don't have any contact of any kind. Any way that you might imagine having contact, I forbid you to do that. If you have contact and we find out about it, your bond will be revoked and you'll be held without bond until the charge is resolved. It means no contact even if he wants the contact. So if you answer your phone and hear his voice, you should hang up. If you're out and about and see him, you should turn around and run the other way. You need to understand that he cannot drop the charges against you. That's not a decision he'll be allowed to make. He may go to the state attorney's office and ask them to drop the charges. He may tell them he's not interested in pursuing this matter, but that decision belongs solely to the assistant state attorney who will be handling your case. So unless that person or the judge on your case tells you the charges are dropped, you should assume they are not dropped, and you should not have contact. In addition, I have to hold you at the jail today up until 4 p.m. so that if you wanted to serve you with a civil injunction for protection against domestic violence, we'd know where to find you. If you get the civil injunction, it's doubly important that you not have contact, because in that case, not only would you get your bond revoked here, but you could get new charges for violating the injunction. I'm going to have you back in court on November 2nd. Very important that you contact the public defender's office when you get out, all right?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Good luck. Amber Ford. Morning, Miss Ford. What's your date of birth?
4/28.
All right, Miss Ford, I have a warrant for you out of Henrico County in the Commonwealth of Virginia. Your options today are this. You're entitled to have an extradition hearing if you wish. The point of that hearing would be to determine if you're the right Amber Ford and if the folks in Henrico County, Virginia, actually have a valid warrant for you. While you're waiting for that hearing to happen, you'll stay right where you are in the Hernando County Jail. That process can take somewhere in the neighborhood of 60 days to complete. At the end of that process, when we have that hearing, if we determine that you are the right Amber Ford and there is a valid warrant for you in Virginia, then the Commonwealth would have another 15 days to come and get you. If you wish, you can waive your right to that hearing this morning. If you waive your right to that hearing, the Commonwealth will be notified immediately and told that they have 15 days to come and get you. If you are still here in 15 days, they would bring you back to see me, and we'd find out if they're actually coming or if they're no longer interested or what the situation is. So the decision you need to make for me today is, would you like an expedition hearing, or would you like me to put the Commonwealth of Virginia on the clock right now?
Put him on the clock.
There you go. They're going to give you a form to sign if you haven't done it already.
She signed it.
She signed it? All right. Very good. So Ms. Ford, I'm signing the order. They have 15 days. They'll be teletyped right away this morning, told they have 15 days to come get you. If you're still here in 15 days, they're going to come bring you back to see me, and we'll find out what's going on, all right?
Sounds good.
Thank you. Michael Bellman. Morning, Michael. What's your date of birth?
1964, sir.
Michael, you're hearing a warrant that was signed by Judge Merritt. Apparently you failed to appear in front of him on a charge of child neglect. As to that charge, you're representing yourself. You're going to hire private counsel. Would you like the public defender?
I need a public defender.
There you go.
There's other counsel with this. I called them. I was late. I'm disabled. I was not able to drive, and the vehicle was broke down. I called and talked to them and stuff, and they said, get down as quick as you can. And I was late, I guess, getting here.
Okay, hang on. So that's all a story for you to discuss with Judge Merritt when we get you back to him. Is there a date, Rachel, before the 30th? Yeah.
Just the only thing that I had a note on is that the code defendant is Toner, and they had suggested we needed to put it on the Toner docket. But I don't know if you want Judge Merritt's on the issue.
If you guys want him there, I'm happy to put him there. I just want to move him up a little because it's one of those no bond.
Yes, sir. Can we move them up to a Toner date, please?
Sure. How about a Toner? Is there something earlier? The 10th. I don't know what he is. It doesn't say what he missed. Okay, hang on. So the bond on the warrant is no bond. I'm not going to change that. I'm going to move your date up to the 10th. That's a week from today, okay? And I'm going to send a public defender out to see you. So they'll come see you before you go to court next Wednesday, okay?
Yeah, I posted bond for this already, sir.
Right, I know, but the judge revoked your bond, and now the warrant says no bond. So you're not going anywhere, at least until next Wednesday, okay?
Yeah, whatever. I can't believe it. I can't believe
Have a seat before you get in trouble.
I'm hurting, sir.
Have a seat. Scott Brady.
Thank you.
Well, Scott, what's your date of birth?
11/29/61.
All right, Scott, the charge is commercial burglary. There's probable cause for the charge. As to that charge, you want to represent yourself. You want to hire private counsel. Would you like me to appoint a public defender?
Public defenders.
I'll appoint the PD state.
Judge, he has history going back to 1980. Starting most recent, we do have a 2014 possession of cocaine conviction. I'm showing the criminal registration. Burglary of unoccupied conveyance conviction out of Tampa, 2012. Trespass, property other than structure, conveyance. I'm showing theft charges, burglary charges in 2007 Hillsborough. I can keep going backwards.
Same sort of things.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And Scott, I've got an address up for you on Tranquility Lane in Brooksville. Is that where you live these days?
Yes, sir. Been there since 2001.
All right. Do you have a job these days?
I'm a SSI.
Okay.
Can I say one thing?
You can, but Scott, I urge you not to talk about the facts. I can't stop you from doing that, but it's up to you.
Well, the window was busted out by somebody else, but there was never no entry. How they started the burglary? That's all.
Okay. And remember this morning when we started, I said all that was going on was I was finding probable cause, which is a low standard. The state has to prove the charge against you beyond a reasonable doubt, which is a very high standard. So that's why we don't like you talking about it, because I'm just meeting a low standard here this morning, and so you don't want to give the state any information that helps them prove the case against you. So I'm going to set your bond at $2,500, Scott. I'm having you back on the 30th of October. If you get out, make sure you contact the PD right away, okay?
That's good. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Jeremy Burt. Well, Mr. Burke, what's your date of birth?
2017-93.
Mr. Burke, you're here on a warrant signed by Judge Merritt. He found probable cause for a violation of probation. As to that charge, you wish to represent yourself. You're going to hire private counsel. Would you like me to appoint the public defender?
Public defender.
I'll appoint the PD. Bond on that warrant is no bond. I can't change that. I'll send you back to see him on the 30th of October. Public defender will come see you before then, okay?
Okay.
Thank
You
you.
said that was Judge Merritt?
Yep. Scott Donahoe? Morning, sir. What's your date of birth?
5/12/70.
Scott, you're also here in a warrant signed by Judge Merritt. In your case, he also found probable cause for violation of probation. As to that charge, you wish to represent yourself. You're going to hire private counsel. Would you like me to appoint the public defender?
Public defender.
I'll appoint the PD. Bond on that warrant is no bond. I can't change that. We'll send you back to see Judge Merritt on October 30th. PD will come see you before then, okay? Gabriel Ellison. Morning, Gabriel. What's your date of birth?
10/20/1991.
Gabriel, you're also here on a warrant signed by Judge Merritt. He also, in your case, found probable cause for violation of probation. As to that charge, you want to represent yourself. You're going to hire private counsel. Would you like the public defender?
Public defender.
I'll appoint the PD. Bond on that warrant is no bond. I can't change that. I'll send you back to see Judge Merritt on the 30th of October. PD will come and see you before then, okay?
Thanks, sir.
Thank you. Glenwood Harrison. Morning, sir. What's your date of birth?
1/18/93.
Glenwood, you're here on a charge of battery being domestic in nature. There's probable cause for the charge. As to that charge, you wish to represent yourself. You're going to hire private counsel. Would you like me to appoint the public defender?
Public defender.
I'll appoint the PD statement.
Judge, I have a 2003, strike that, 2012 burglary of a dwelling conviction, larceny. I have 2012 dealing stolen property conviction in Jacksonville, 2014 no valid. I have resisting and DUI out of Atlantic Beach, 2014, 2015, another Dwellis. I see a failure to appear, Bradford County, 2015. Arrest on a robbery charge, but I'm not sure what that was. I think that was in 2015, but it looked like it was. I can't tell if it was dropped or it was a lesser judge. But I do see a probation violation, 2015, out of Bradford.
And Mr. Harrison, I have an address for you on Terra Lane Avenue in Brooksville. Is that where you live?
Yes, sir.
How long have you lived there?
3 years.
Okay. Does Sydney live there too?
No, sir.
Okay. Do you have a job these days?
Yes, sir. I have 2.
Okay. What do you do?
I detail cars at Wikiwashi, and I prep for CC's Pizza.
Okay. I'm going to set your bond at $2,500. Condition is that you have no contact with Miss Moore. Did you hear me explain no contact earlier?
Yes, sir.
Did you understand it?
Yes, sir.
Very good. Also going to hold you till 4 p.m. so if she wants to serve you with an injunction, we know where to find you. You'll be in court on the 2nd of November. Very important, Glenwood, that you contact the public defender's office when you get out, all right?
Yes, sir.
Very good. Curtis Martin.
Yes, sir.
Morning, Mr. Martin. What's your date of birth?
1/22/75.
Mr. Martin, you're here on a warrant that I signed. I found probable cause for 1 count of battery being domestic in nature. As to that charge, you want to represent yourself. You want to hire private counsel, or would you like me to appoint the public defender?
A public defender. Your Honor, I'd like to take care of this today if I could. I've got 90 days in on the charge in Casco.
It's a domestic case, Curtis, so we can't take care of it today, unfortunately. Okay, state what you got.
Fine.
Judge, I'm showing some history, FTA, DUI, theft, another DUI, all out of state, so it's alcohol detect related charges. Then I'm also showing in Florida, 2018, a filed Casco drug charge that maybe we was talking about to resolve. Failure to appear out of Sumter County, failure to appear out of Pasco County, another Pasco County, failure to appear another failure to appear out of Hernando several times, shoplifting conviction, and then a guilty of a threat to do violence. The original charge looks like it came in as some type of local homicide or something, but it looks like what he was actually convicted of is, it says, intent threat to do violence.
Okay. All right. Curtis, I got an address for you on Gary Road in Dade City. Is that where you live?
Yes, sir.
How long you been there?
Quite a while.
Okay. You have a job these days?
No, sir. Not anymore.
Right. Okay. We'll set your bond to $1,000. Condition of the bond is that you have no contact with Misty Green. Did you hear me explain no contact a little bit ago?
Yes, sir.
And you
Is there any
understood?
reason? Can you tell me why there's no reason I can take care of this today?
Because it's a domestic case, and I can't take a plea on a domestic case without the alleged victim being notified that I'm going to take a plea. Okay?
Okay.
So she has to get notified. She'll be notified of your court date so that the first time you show up in court in front of me, which looks like it'll be the 2nd of November, if you want to resolve it then, you'll be able to resolve it. I appointed the public defender for you, so if you don't bond out, they'll come see you, and if there's some way to resolve your case earlier, they'll try to help you out. But I can't resolve domestic battery cases at first appearance. So your bond's $1,000. You'll have no contact with Ms. Green. You'll be back on the 2nd of November. If you bond out, contact the public defender right away, okay?
Yes, sir.
No. John Mary?
Good morning.
Morning, sir. What's your date of birth?
41088.
John, you're here on a warrant signed by Judge Merritt. He found probable cause for a violation of community control. As to that charge, you wish to represent yourself. You're going to hire private counsel. Or would you like me to appoint the public defender?
PD, please.
I'll appoint the PD. Bond on that warrant is no bond. I can't change that. I'll send you back to see Judge Merritt on October 30th. Public defender will come see you before then, okay?
Thank you.
Thank you. Franklin Roundtree? Morning, Franklin. Date of birth?
83184.
All right, Franklin, now I have a warrant signed by Judge Heineman. He found probable cause for a petty theft. I think you got the PD on your other cases, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So I'll appoint the PD on this one. This is a misdemeanor, so I think.
Yes, sir.
Yep. So it's going to go to a different date than your other cases, okay? So I'll leave the bond at the $500. This one's going to come back on November 2nd. But the PD will visit with you about everything, okay?
Sir.
Thank you. Mark Serro.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Morning, Mark. What's your date of birth?
Yes.
What's your date of birth?
Yes, my date of birth?
Yes.
We did. May 20, 1979.
There we go. Didn't mean to throw you a curveball right out of the gate like that.
Yes.
All right. The charge this morning is battery. That's probable cause for that charge. As to that charge, you want to represent yourself. You want to hire private counsel. Would you like me to appoint the public defender?
Your Honor, he's a little hard of hearing. I'm
Oh.
going to bring him
He's
close
different
to the monitor and give
Okay.
him a microphone over there.
Okay. We good?
Yes, Your Honor, you
Okay.
can read your lips.
Okay. Mark, would you like the public defender to represent you?
Yes, yes.
I'll appoint the PD. State.
Judge, he has out-of-state history involving assaults and batteries, 2014. I see 3 or 4 different charges. Excuse me. I'm seeing seeing it in 2013 several times. Disorderly, I'm seeing assaults, 2008, and other domestic violence charges. I'm seeing a home invasion. I'm seeing a robbery. I'm going to stop here, but it goes back in the 90s, other type of history out of state.
Gotcha.
And in Florida, I don't have anything, but he does have these sorts of out-of-state history of violence, so that's worth taking into consideration.
Brilliant. Mark, I have an address for you on Beasley Road in Brooksville. Do you live on Beasley Road?
Is that from here, Mom? Yes. Yes. Yes, I live up Beasley Road. Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. And does Gail Levinson live there also?
Yes, Your Honor. Yes. Yes.
Do you have a job these days?
I don't have a job. I can tell you if you want. Yes.
I didn't understand any of that.
Your Honor.
You got to back off the microphone.
General labor finding, work, outside work, that kind of thing.
Side work, got it.
He's a laborer.
Right, got it. Mark, I'm going to set your bond at $2,000. Condition of the bond is that you'll have no contact with Gail. None at all. If Gail stays at that address on Beasley Road, you'll have to go someplace else. You can go back to Beasley Road one time to collect your things, your clothes, your toothbrush, whatever you need, but you'll have to contact the sheriff's office before you go. They'll meet you there with a deputy who'll stand by while you pick up your things. Also going to hold you till 4 p.m. so that if Gail wants to serve you with a civil injunction, we know where to find you. And then you'll be back in court on the 2nd of November. If you get out, you should contact the public defender right away.
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. Christopher Voss.
Morning, Your Honor.
Morning, Christopher. Date of birth?
05/24/1994.
Christopher, you're here on a warrant signed by Judge Toner. He found probable cause for a violation of probation. As to that charge, you wish to represent yourself. You're going to hire private counsel. Would you like me to appoint the public defender?
Private attorney.
Very good. Bond on that warrant is no bond. I can't change that. You'll be back in court on the 26th of October. Looks like they told you the 30th. It'll be the 26th. When you contact your private lawyer, make sure you tell them that 26th of October is the next court date, okay?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Jack Williams. Morning, Jack. What's your date of birth?
9/6/88.
Jack, I've got 2 counts of resisting without violence, 1 count of trespass. There's probable cause for all 3. As to those charges, you wish to represent yourself. You're going to hire private counsel. Would you like me to appoint the public defender?
Public defender. Your Honor, can I resolve these today? I got a hold out of Citrus for a VOP.
I know you do. State, can he resolve these today?
Give me just a second, Your Honor.
Sure.
Sorry.
That's okay.
Can I talk to him for a second?
Well, let's hear what she offers, and then I'll give you a chance to weigh in.
I think based on the fact that it's he's got the BOP, it would be county jail time, and it would be at least 180 days.
Okay. He's probably not going to want that.
That would be on the M1, not
Right.
the M2.
They're offering you 6 months in the county jail, Jack. Is that something you want to do?
Would they run it concurrent with Citrus so I could be out in Citrus?
Well, see, that'll be up to Citrus. What had happened is I would sentence you. If you have a pending VOP in Citrus, by taking the plea here this morning, any defense you might have to the VOP would evaporate in a puff. It would be gone. And so when you went to Citrus, and I don't know who your VOP is in front of.
Yerman?
Okay, so when you got up there, all you'd be able to do is stand there and take whatever Judge Yerman was going to toss at you. So he could make it consecutive. He could, you wouldn't have a defense to the VOP. He could do anything he wanted because it doesn't matter to him what I do down here. So if you take the 180 here, I certainly will say I don't care if you go to Citrus while you're serving my 180, but you really will put yourself in a spot when you get to Citrus because you won't have anything to say but yes or no, sir, when Judge German sentences you on the VOP.
Judge, he may want to set it for the court date so he can talk to his public defender here and communicate with the PD over in Citrus and see.
Right, and I can do that. I can do that for you, Jack. I can appoint the public defender here. Since it's a 180 sentence, then we'll have one cycle. They could come out and see you. You'd be back in court in front of me on the 2nd of November, and at least then you'd have a chance to weigh your options and see if there's something better than 180, or they'd have a chance to talk to the folks in Citrus and see if they can't coordinate some kind of concurrent sentence. So if you're looking at 6 months in county anyway, you might as well at least spend one cycle here, have the PDs try to coordinate things for you.
I guess we'll do that because I need to get to Citrus and get that done fast. I got kids, man.
We'll get you there as quick as we can. So for now, I'll leave the bonds per the arrest affidavits, which is a total of $3,000. They're all coming back November 2nd, I imagine. On November 2nd, the public defender will come see you before then, and we'll see if we can't get you resolved by the 2nd or sooner if that's possible, all right?
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you, Judge,
Yep.
for saying everything I just said.
Well, you know I have nothing but respect for you, but sometimes when it comes from me,
Oh, absolutely. I agree completely.
That's why she's smart.
okay. And Kevin Yost? Morning, Kevin. What's your date of birth?
8884.
And Kevin, I have a warrant signed by Judge Rupi for a petty theft, and it appears to me that you're also currently on felony probation. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And so there's a probable cause arrest for a violation of the felony probation. There's probable cause then for both cases. As to those charges, you wish to represent yourself. You're going to hire private counsel. Would you like me to appoint the public defender?
Well, I have a private counsel for that, for when I got put on probation. His name is Robert Christensen.
Okay. Does Mr. Christensen know where you are this morning?
No, he doesn't.
Okay. You plan to continue with Mr. Christensen on your cases?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So on the petty theft, I'll set the bond at $1,000 per the warrant. That one's going to come back on the 2nd of November. On the VOP, of course, the bond will be no bond. And that one's coming back on the 30th of October. So you need to get a hold of Mr. Christensen right away so you can get to work on your case, okay?
Yes, sir. There's no way for me to get a hold of him. I have no way to contact him.
Well, the answer is you either try to call him from the jail or you try to call somebody who you know how to call and have them contact him, okay?
I don't even have a way to contact anybody on the outside.
There's nothing I can do for you. If you don't have any phone number you want to call, I'll give you permission to call, but if you don't have a phone number, I can't help you out.
There's no way I can call it through the jail phone system.
What I'm telling you is if you tell me a name and a phone number, I will give you permission to make the phone call.
Okay.
Who do you want to call?
My father,
What's his name?
Kevin Yost,
And what's Kevin's phone number?
352-279-4248.
There you go. They'll let you make that call, all right?
All right, thank you.
Willie Hanea.
Sir.
Willie, we see way too much of each other. You know that.
Yes, sir. Dude, I'm
All
sorry.
right. Well, obviously it hurts you more than it hurts me. All right, Willie, I've got a battery being domestic in nature this morning. There's probable cause for that charge. As to that charge, you're going to represent yourself. You're going to hire private counsel. Would you like the public defender?
Public defender, please,
I'll
sir.
appoint the PD state.
Judge, his last case was a 2017 second battery. He was convicted of that, so this may be amended.
Right.
You want me to keep going?
You don't have to go too much detail. Just the last few years. Obviously, I've seen Willie
Yes, sir.
here and there.
He's had other arrests for domestic violence, but I'm not showing necessarily the dispositions. I have possession of controlled substance, in 2014, and then it goes back to 2017.
And Willie, you still on Ruth Street in Brooksville?
Yes, sir, I am.
Okay. How long have you been there?
For about 9 years now, 8 years.
Okay. And Dwayne's living there too?
Yes, he is.
Okay.
I have alternate place to stay there.
Yeah, I know you know the drill, Willie. You got it. Are you working these days?
No, sir. My DCF caseworker is in the process of getting my SSDI started.
Okay.
At-
Okay. I'll set your bond at $2,000, Willie. Condition is that you have no contact with Mr. Zimmerman. You heard me explain no contact earlier,
yes, sir.
and you understood that?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Also got to hold you until 4 p.m., and then we'll have you back in court. They even charged it as a felony, Candace.
Okay,
I'll have
I
you-
apologize. Mine just read domestic.
Yeah. I'll have you back in court on the 30th of October. If you get out, make sure you contact the PD right away, okay?
Yes, sir, I will.
Very good.
It didn't have the second or subsequent, and then the statute numbers, so.
Right. It's in the PC. Taylor Banachek? All right.
I have a PTI contract. It's my understanding that she resolved the felony with a felony PTI. They wanted to recommend, she has the public defender, the PTI program here, which would be 12 months, would include the public defender application, public defender lien, each of $50, zero restitution, mental health evaluation treatment is recommended, no contact with the 3 victims, cost prosecution, Crime Stoppers, and then the cost of 203. We have the contract here. If she wanted to do that, I would have her state her a tentative admission to enter in the diversion on the record today. The intent that the court required her to go to meet with Ms. Nettie, if I can hand it to Ms. Nettie, to sign that today. If she did not, give her an alternative court date that she needs to be here.
Okay.
Ms. Nettie can notify you to cancel that date if she signs.
Okay. So Taylor, they're offering you pretrial intervention on your misdemeanor. Sounds like you took pretrial intervention on your felony. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
And you'd like to take pretrial intervention on your misdemeanor as well?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So what's going to happen is I'm going to have you released today. What the heck is today, the 3rd? I'm going to give you till noon on Friday, which is the 5th, to get yourself to misdemeanor probation to sign that contract. If you sign that contract by the 5th, then you're in PTI. If you successfully complete those conditions, then the charge will be dropped, and you will go on with your life like this never happened. I'm also going to set your case for the 11th of October. If you get in and sign up for PTI and get started on that program, you don't have to be here on the 11th of October. The folks from probation will be here, and they'll tell me that you're in PTI, and that'll be that. If you haven't signed up for PTI by the 11th of October, then you need to be standing right in front of me that day so we can find out what's going on, okay?
Okay, sir.
Very good.